This video demonstrates how to use the Control Box I/O. First, let's take a look at the Control Box I/O settings. This is the D configuration within the I/O settings. We can configure the functions of the last 8 configurable digital imports. You can see that in HCI. You can select the corresponding function via the drop-down menu. Next is the configuration for configurable imports and the valid states for universal imports. Here we can choose whether the corresponding setting is active high or active low. Let's take a look at the Do settings, which are similar to the D settings. Here we can configure the functionality of configurable outputs. Similarly, settings can also be configured for the active state. Next, we'll demonstrate how to use the Do commands. Let's quickly create a program. We can find the Digital I/O command in the control commands. We can click on Digital I/O to edit it in the pop-up window. The port represents the Do we have selected. The state represents whether we want to set Do to true or false. Here you can configure whether our output signal is blocked. Here you can configure smooth trajectories. The last option determines whether it is applied to the thread. Here we demonstrate the command for setting the DO3 state. Select the 2 commands that are true and false respectively. Add and apply. On our page, this section can be used to report I/O status information. We opened it. Now we can test the 2 commands we just wrote. Click the first command. The DO3 on the right side can be observed to be illuminated. When we click the second command, the corresponding signal can be seen to disappear, and the LED turns off accordingly. Next, let's discuss the D directives. We also click on the Digital I/O. Select Get D in the pop-up window. This is the command to obtain input. You can see the description in black text on a blue background. This instruction is typically used for conditional judgments. We first select CIO, click Add, then click Apply. We need to make a few minor adjustments to this generated instruction. Let's change the order of the program and switch the port. To ensure the program runs more noticeably, we also need to add a simple wait instruction. We can run this program. In our modified program, the robot will determine the input status of CI2, which is our button. Turns off after 3 seconds, enters a loop, and waits for the next input. Click the Alias menu in the I/O settings. Here you can configure aliases for I/O. We can name the port numbers ourselves. Click the Filter menu in the I/O settings. Here we can configure the filtering time for various diodo types. Finally, output the Reset menu in the I/O settings. Here we can configure output reset settings for various DO types. Can be set to either reset after stopping, pausing, or remain active. That concludes the basic introduction to the Control Box I/O. Thank you all.